Hello everyone. This video is going out a little bit earlier than I normally do my videos. I usually do them no more than once every 2 weeks on a Wednesday when I have time. And this is a video that I hoped, on the subject, that I hoped I'd never really have to do. But it's relevant, and while it's fresh in my thoughts, literally in my thoughts, on my mind, I wanted to get it out there. So, and it relates to videos that I've already done, my previous videos. You've heard me talk about how I feel that your emotional state, how you're feeling emotionally, your well-being is strongly connected to your tinnitus, in the way that your tinnitus can fluctuate up and down, increase in volume and intensity. You've heard me say that I think this is very much connected to your emotional state of mind, stress, for me a lot of anger, things like that, getting upset. It's connected to how you're feeling within yourself emotionally. And also you heard me in one of my videos talk about the state of habituation that I feel I'm reached or am reaching for, am nearing, where I can have days where I don't notice the tinnitus at all, although it's there. I can have days where I don't notice it at all, which is a lovely place to be, this state of habituation. And I use a scale of 1 to 10 for how the volume and the intensity of my tinnitus. 1 to 2 being I'm aware, but it's not intrusive, it's not getting to me, it's not intruding on my life, it's way in the background. You know, that's where I usually seem to be, hanging around at a level 1 or 2. And you know, although the tinnitus is still there, it's not intrusive on me, it's not getting to me. Level 3 or 4, I would say, it's irritating and annoying. I'm more aware of it, but it's not awful. When we start to get to 5 or 6, then it becomes a lot more irritating for me, intrusive, very intrusive. You know, it fills my head. Anything above that is just, forget it, you know, I can't even function, but I haven't had that for a long time, that bad. So, okay, so why am I talking about this? As I say, just 1 second. Sorry about that. As I say, I usually reside at around a 1 or 2 on the tinnitus scale. On Friday, I went to London for the day, and while I was in London, at the end of the day, I received some bad and upsetting news, and I started to get upset about it, angry about it, and as soon as I did that, and you've heard me say this before, my tinnitus started to get agitated. I could feel it getting agitated, and it went up to about a 3 plus. And I could feel it. Now usually when this happens, if I'm at home, I will go and do one of my meditations, or I'll start doing my Tai Chi, and that will usually help me to bring this down. And I also use that at work when I can. But by this time I was at the tube station, and that is not a calming environment. And I could not really stand there and start doing these breathing exercises that I do. I'll start practicing Tai Chi at the tube station, and tube stations are irritating places to be. Everybody's jumbled together. I find it very frustrating, you know, and irritating being, you know, jostled around at the tube station. Anyway, so I was on the train, and while I was on the train, now we're on an overground train, coming home, I was doing my breathing. It did help, but my tinnitus was still higher than where I'm comfortable. When I got home, I had to go and pick up my little boy, who's autistic, and he requires all of my attention. So I had him for the whole weekend, and my tinnitus was going from 3 to 4, delving into a 5, but not quite, but irritating, annoying, you know, all weekend, because I needed to look after my son. On the on the Monday morning, my son went to school. My tinnitus wasn't good. It was, you know, delving into the fours, I suppose. It wasn't good anyway, and I was not feeling good. So I took the day off work, and while I was at home convalescing on this Monday, I practiced my Tai Chi and my meditations, and I got the tinnitus to come back down again to a level 1 or 2. So great, terrific. So on the Tuesday I went back into work, and some of the people there, not all of them, but some of the people there, I could feel this resentment, the way they were talking to me and responding to me. You know how sometimes you can just feel the vibe from somebody. That they resented the fact that I had the day off. And one of them made some joke, I can't remember exactly, but the punchline was, well, I expect you'll be wanting another 2 weeks off work. And that annoyed me. That did make me angry, because they don't know how we tinnitus sufferers do suffer. Because tinnitus, and I've said this before, you can't see it. It's not visible to anybody else. It isn't like you've got an injury that anyone can see. You know, if they can't see it, they don't know how you're suffering. Some of the guys there have watched my videos, so they have more of an understanding of what it's like to suffer with tinnitus, because they followed my videos. So anyway, this person who made this joke, you know, that made me angry, and I couldn't stop that. I did get angry, and I went away, took myself away, and I did my breathing, but it was whirring around in my head. Plus this bad news that I heard on Friday, that started to go through my thought processes again. So when I got home, I was still in this state of 5 or 6, and this has proved to me more than ever that your emotional state of being, how you're feeling emotionally, this has reinforced my thoughts that it is directly linked to your tinnitus, the volume and intensity of your tinnitus. For me, it's absolutely true. And I had a subscriber. Oh, before I get into that, what I did when I got home on that Tuesday, I did practice my Tai Chi and meditations, and it did come down, but it was still higher than I'm comfortable with, but it did come back down. So what I was doing was working for me, but it was still higher than I like to be, where I'm comfortable. But it did come down. That's the point. That's the point. And one of my subscribers, who had asked me about this habituation phase, because they think that maybe this is happening to them. They feel like sometimes they don't hear the noise, and they wanted to know, what is this? Is it going to disappear completely, the tinnitus, or is it this habituation you're talking about? And I replied to them, well, it is more than likely that you're habituated. You know, you're starting this habituation phase, because to be cured, just for the cure to just happen, I haven't heard of that happening. I was just saying, it's just my opinion, but I feel you're probably reaching this habituation, which I'm talking about, where you have, the sound is still there, but it's way in the background. It's not intrusive, so brilliant. But he had contacted me and said that his tinnitus had spiked. He'd heard the term spike used, and he said, I think I've had a tinnitus spike, the volume's gone up, what do I do about it? Is it going to get worse? What can I do? What can I do? And he was stressing about it getting worse, and I said, the worst thing you can do is get stressed about it. And, you know, panic, go into panic mode. You need to calm down. I said, I know how you're feeling because I've had it myself. You need to calm down, and I promise you, your tinnitus will come down. And this is now Saturday, and this is the first day really in the whole week where I've got the level, the intensity to come back down to a 1 or 2 where I'm comfortable. Sometimes it's fluctuating a little bit again. You know, if I let my thoughts stray into these, you know, about the bad news I had, etc., and start to get angry, I can. It's a strange thing. I can almost feel it wanting to come into my head. I can almost feel like it's lurking at the, you know, in the background. It's lurking, but it's waiting for an opportunity to come back in. So I try and keep control of that. But this is just to illustrate that habituation is not the same as being cured, because a lot of people have been asking, particularly at work, funnily enough, what's the cure? Is there a cure? Why isn't there a cure? There is no absolute cure that you can take. There's no pill. There isn't anything like that. So you have to work on yourself, within your mind and within your body. You know, and please don't think that your tinnitus, if you have a spike, that it's going to stay at that level. Because if you do the right things, because it's the brain, this is the bottom line, it is brain, you have to find methods that work for you and calm your nervous system. And this week has really proved to me, reinforced, I already had this line of thought about tinnitus, but it has really proved to me that your emotional self is directly connected with your intensity of tinnitus. So this is why I say continue to work on methods that calm your nervous system down. Keep calm. And I just wanted to reinforce this this idea of the connection. And I wanted to do it today because of the week I've had. It has not been a good week. You know, after saying in my previous video, I'm habituated now. I have days where I don't ever hear the tinnitus. It is not the same as being cured. It is not the same thing. And that's what I've learnt this week. So next time, learn from when you have a spike what helps you. This is what I'm doing. I now know that if I do have a spike, it will come down. I can get it to come back down to where I'm comfortable. You just have to literally calm down. So that's just what I wanted to say in this video. As I said, habituation, not the same as being cured. If you do have a spike, don't panic about it. Don't get angry about it. That won't help you. I know it's difficult. Believe me, I know it's difficult. I used to get angry very, very quickly. The red mist would rise very quickly in me. And I have stopped that. That doesn't happen to me anymore. And it's almost like changing part of your personality. It's kind of like I feel my brain has said to me, because I used to get so angry so quickly for such long periods of time, real rage, real rage, unnecessary rage. I feel my brain has actually been saying to me, I don't like the way you've been treating me for the last 30 years. Wham, have some of this tinnitus. You know, you need to stop being like this. That's how I feel about it. And this is why I say, in a way, my being struck with tinnitus has basically forced me to change part of my personality almost and become calmer. And that's a positive thing. As crazy as that sounds, that is a positive thing. So the tinnitus has made me feel like I need to change, and I have done. But if I fall back into this angry state that I can get in, the tinnitus reminds me, stop it. That's how I feel about it. Of course, having said that, although the tinnitus is useful for being, like I've said before, like a stressor meter, if it's going up, I know I'm doing something wrong. My brain's not liking it. Having said that, I still would love more than anything to be free of the tinnitus completely. So I'm, you know, don't get me wrong, I'm still heading towards trying to cure myself completely of this noise in my head. You know, as useful as it can be in letting me know what I should be doing or feeling, as useful as it can be, like a stress meter, I, you know, just make it clear I want to get rid of it completely. So now I've fallen back into a bit habituation state of 1 or 2. I'm going to try and concentrate on not allowing things, even more so, to make me angry. So that's kind of where I wanted to go with this video. You know, habituation, not the same as being cured. If you have a spike, don't panic about it. Remain calm. It will come down. You know, I've had spikes before where they've come down within, you know, an hour or so. This one kind of lasted all week, and it was started by hearing some bad news and getting angry and upset. So, you know, just remain calm. It may take some time, but it will come down. Thank God. One other thing, to one of my subscribers, Nelia Epku, I hope I've pronounced it right, Nelia Epku, about the meditation video. She asked whether I would do a meditation video, but just as a meditation video, instead of, because the last one I did, I was explaining how it works and, you know, the history of it a little bit in between while I was doing it. So she asked if I would do just a straightforward meditation video without any explanations or, you know, pauses, so she could do it along with me while I was doing it as an audio, listening to it, you know, as an audio file or something like that, so she could listen and meditate with my voice instructing her, etc. I will try to do something like that within the next couple of weeks, because she's asked me to, and other people have said about meditation videos. So I will try that, and if it helps, that's fantastic. So I will try and do that at some point. Anyway, I think that's all I'm going to say on this video. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you if you're one of my new subscribers. The number seems to be going up, so thank you very, very much. That's fantastic. That's great. That makes me feel good and makes me feel that what I'm saying is you know, worth me doing and relevant, if it's helping people, because that's the whole idea of it. So thank you if you subscribed. It's really, really appreciated. All right, thank you everybody. As always, best wishes to everybody with tinnitus. Continue to find methods that work for you, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much.